So here are my intake valves, and they are absolutely covered in carbon. It's a rather delicate area to get the carbon off because obviously you don't want any metal shavings going into the intake. Now the correct way to do this is to use a soft media blaster like walnut blasting to get the carbon off, but that can be kind of expensive. What if we used a cheaper way? At $5 for 15 ounces, this Berryman's injector cleaner is hard to beat. By snaking in a 24mm wrench onto the crank pulley, I'm able to open and close the valves. Once I got the valves closed, I went ahead and poured in some of that injector cleaner and let it soak in overnight. The next day I started by soaking up that fluid with a shop towel. To clean off the carbon, we're going to be using the zip tie method, where basically you take a bunch of zip ties and you shove them into the chuck of your drill. Because the zip ties are soft plastic, they won't be able to mar the intake and should be able to be. So it turns out the best configuration is to cut the tags off so they don't get caught on things, and to use another zip tie to keep them all tied together. With this configuration, you can just hold your trigger down and drill like crazy until all that carbon starts coming up. I did also end up changing the zip ties about once per valve because the carbon would end up stuck to the zip ties and wasn't as effective. So the zip ties in the injector cleaner definitely clean that carbon up, but it does end up all kind of caught on the bottom of the valve like this. I had to send a shop towel in with the pick and kind of try to get as much as I could out. And then once the shop towel couldn't pick it up, I just kind of used the pick to get the globby stuff out. This was the most time consuming part of this whole thing. You can see on this before and after, there's still a bunch of carbon crud around the valve seats that I have yet to get out. But the zip ties are definitely effective in removing carbon. It turned out the best way to get the stuff around the valves out was to let it dry up and then pick it so it was loose, and then I could take the shop vac and shop it all out of there. Another day of picking and soaking, and I managed to get the other two valves cleaned up, and here's the results, guys. It's not as clean as a walnut blast could get it, but we're definitely going to be getting some power gains back from this one. Now that my valves are cleaned up, all I got to do is rethread that stripped hole and clean up my injectors for this tune-up to be done. Like and follow for more content, guys.